Hello, everybody. Are we good in the chat?
Well, it seems we got Pretty Lies and Alibis. We have Kathy, Jennifer Byam, Dylan, Tina Reddington, Jennifer Dillon, Rotary Dial, Bryn Marshall, Jennifer. Let's see, we got we got a full house in here.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. How's everybody doing this evening? This is
How is
KJ.
everybody?
I see many Rays in here. How's everybody doing? Crescia should be with us shortly. She's having a little bit of a technical difficulty. But until she gets here, I just want to thank Big E for bringing it to my attention about this whole conspiracy theory about Chad Daybell getting Judge Boyce off of the case. Hello?
Hey,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Did you read it where it doesn't work now, right? He can't pull that card now, correct?
All I can say is that they're on cases of interest where the Idaho Supreme Court appointed Judge Boyce, along with allowing the change of venue on the order from the Supreme Court, that under Rule 9, under ICR 25 there, that one of the exceptions is an appointed judge who's specifically on a criminal case.
Yeah, it's on. I ended up accidentally stumbling onto it.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I mean, I knew that there was no way at this point that Chad could pull that crap. I didn't.
And that's why I was genuinely asking, because I wasn't sure, and that's why I just threw it all to the masses. And
well, it's not about right or wrong. It's about us all asking the questions and then hoping somebody will figure it out. So
yeah,
I mean, I learned something just by you bringing it up. So I appreciate that, and I thank you for that.
No, I mean, I appreciate you finding it and informing me, because I didn't know myself until, like I said, I think it was yesterday, because I was looking at her or I was looking at the document that sets that was the trial date for Chad, and it's on that document. It's got all the judges listed and everything on that. And
it's the pretrial stuff. It's got on the second page. It talks about alternate judges, and that would make a lot of sense if they did sever the case. Then Judge Boyce could have another judge to, it wouldn't be him presiding over both cases if they were being tried separate. Right. But again, this goes back to Judge Boyce was appointed by the Supreme Court in this specific case, and that falls under the exceptions. Unless he wanted to become unavailable. If he decided he didn't want to do this anymore, he could appoint one of these alternate judges. But I don't think that'll be the case. I think Judge Boyce will take it all the way.
Oh yeah, he will. He absolutely will, and as he should. I mean, whether we like him or not, he's been with it since it finally got real, when they, brought the murder charges and the death penalty, and so it's his case now, and that's good. Honestly, the only thing, I'm just a worry wart. I mean, I think about stuff like that, and it's just like I was telling Gigi today. I think I put the link in the chat. Gigi, did it work or no? It might not. I'm not sure if I did it right or not, but if it didn't, let me know. But yeah, I asked Gigi today, because I went back and listened. We were looking at something else, and it caught my attention when Pryor was talking about the crystal ball and nobody having one, and you remember all that, and they don't know what's going to happen with her competency and all that stuff. Well, here's the thing, like I told Gigi today, and it's just me being a worrywart, but who's to say that we get a month into this trial and she becomes incompetent again?
If she's even competent.
And if everybody will notice in the comments, Kay Vallow Woodcock is letting us all know right now.
Not a girl.
Cases are not being severed. It is confirmed. And if anybody's going to listen to anybody about anything, it needs to be Kay Vallow Woodcock. She has got the info.
I got to talk to my dad just now too. So,
and folks, let me tell you what. That is a hurdle. That is a win
that is
for justice.
Little battles.
We'll
win the war too, but they're gonna win a couple. They're gonna win some battles because that's just how life works, or it's gonna seem like they are. But
just think about it, y'all.
We know they're not going to get away with this.
They're gonna have to sit at that damn table together.
Who?
They're gonna have to sit by each other.
Good. They are married. Maybe he'll wear his wedding ring, and he did not wear his wedding ring at his wife's funeral. I mean, his late wife.
Kay Woodcock says we are elated. One trial means only one round of torture instead of two, and I think we should all keep that in mind. That was the major issue. The major issue was the victim's family is going to have to go through this twice.
Right.
I mean, it's enough they got to go through the torture of it once. But I can say this, and I'll say it, and it's the truth, and the truth always sets everyone free. Kay and Larry Woodcock, they set the standard in being strong, resilient, and I'm just so proud of them for the way they've held themselves throughout all of this.
And I want to say classy, or
integrity.
Tactful integrity. Yeah. I admire that about. She always, taught me to turn the other cheek, until you don't have to, you know what I mean. But try to always take the higher road, and not entertain little things that just eat at you and take your time and consume you. And it took a long time for me to figure it out. But my mom was right, and she is right. And I want to be just like her.
Yeah. Kay says right here, she says that we didn't expect it, totally expected severance. And, whenever you've seen all that we've seen throughout this adjudication process through pretrial, I'm sure I was worried about it myself, but I told everybody it would be nearly impossible to sever them because once you join that together, it's just so hard. You have a very high threshold. And Kresha, you gave some great examples in your last live stream.
Well, teamwork makes the dream work. So we all did that together. And so that's cool. I like how it worked. And thank you. And, it just teamwork makes the dream work. There's no line.
I think it's important in this very moment that we echo Kay Vallow Woodcock when she says, "Thank you, Jesus." Amen. Praise the Lord, God in heaven, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Thank you so much, Jesus, for doing the truthful and right thing to do, the right justice path.
Right. She's finally going to be held accountable.
Exactly right. That's what I was getting ready to say. There's good things happening.
I mean, if you want to look at it as something from this perspective, look at it like, God will humble you whenever you need humbling. You're like, oh, okay. When just things happen and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, whatever. It's because he puts you through these trials, and then you not these trials, but he puts you through trials in life, and then you just have lessons to learn, and mine are usually to humble myself. And so he has a way of kind of teaching lessons here. And I would say Lori's lesson is that it is doomsday.
What you do in the dark will be brought to the light.
Fish
Fish
face, 1, 2,
face.
3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
Fish
was
face.
talking
1,
in
2, 3
person.
is.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you so
awesome.
much.
You're awesome. Fish face. 1, 2, 3.
Every time, every
Thank you,
time.
Thank
Fish
you.
Face.
And
Gigi's
Gigi's here.
backstage. Gigi's
Yeah.
backstage.
You ready, Gigi? I'm gonna push the button. That way we don't slam her out of here. 1, 2, 3, and go. And behind us is Lake Charles, guys. This is where.
There she is. What's up?
What's up,
Hey.
y'all? It's a happy afternoon. What do you
Right?
think?
High five. High five.
High five.
Yes,
Can I just say
it
I came in on a church sermon. Y'all were giving all the praise. I was like, let me grab my Bible.
We were dancing back here with snakes, girl. I don't know.
Listen, I'm just gonna tell y'all. If
We're waiting on
I'm
that
sipping
dance, by the
coffee
way,
through
too.
a straw because I was eating some corn nuts, and apparently they threw a rock in there, and my molar like split in half. But I can't, I can't do without my coffee. So I'm sucking through a straw. I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow. Lord have mercy.
Dry socket.
It's terrible, but I mean, people, I'd be a subject on the podcast if I didn't get my coffee. So
Everybody's saying hi, Gigi. Hi,
hey,
Gigi.
everybody. Look, I want to show you real quick, Kresha. This is my little great niece, and she is totally in love with my JJ and Tylee and Charles.
Bracelets, let's see.
So she has to put them on whenever I'm around her.
Spread the love.
Yes, I gave her one because she wears it
I'm
everywhere.
gonna send more. I am. I'm gonna send more. I had sent some to one of our lady who has been with me from the very beginning, just very supportive. Her name was Julie Mitchell, and I sent her 100 bracelets, and she was gonna mail them out for me and take that burden off. Just she wanted to do it. She had been on me, and then she died, and I was like,
God.
and so I just whatever, just we'll chalk that off. I don't want the
Oh my
rest.
goodness. I'm sorry to hear that.
Now it freaked me out, and I miss her, and
Yeah.
it's really sad.
Well, I tell you, Kresha, the big thing for me is this: with him denying the severance, we know that the next commitment would have been a year, I think, right? And that it goes to a year. So I think, you read the tea leaves and there you go.
And I've been feeling like you've been feeling, and that gut feeling.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know. This seemed a little different to me this go around. And we heard a little quicker last time that she was being recommitted. And then, so now we're well over, it was a week when we heard, well, we're over a week now. And then you have these filings, this
They're
status
weird. They're
yeah.
weird.
And then you have this scheduling conference today. Well, she hasn't had one that I'm aware of since she's been incompetent. So, I think this is a really good day for your family and for everybody who wants justice. Let's do it.
This is for Tylee, Charles, JJ, Tammy, and Joe. This is for the victims, and this is.
I've been japped up all flipping day, man.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a good thing I got unlimited texting because me and Eric been burning it up.
And I'm glad because I was like, I gotta get some makeup on, dude. I can't do more than one thing at one time. I don't move. It looks like my foot was nailed to the floor, and I just turned in a circle.
I know in the
Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
In the documents, it says that it has to be signed in triplicate and all that stuff. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's signed on 2 of them papers right now. We're just waiting on that 3rd one.
Just waiting on them to drop.
And it's a great, like you already, I'm just saying what you said. It is.
Mom, I want to go to Rexburg. Don't leave without me. God, this time, let me be specific. My bags are packed. I'm just one.
I'm tempted. I'm because my
give her the stank eye, and then I'm good.
Yeah, I'm a little tempted to go myself because my kids are on spring break, and apparently they don't want to do anything with me because they have social lives.
I heard. So
I'm just hanging.
Come on. Yeah.
So She
My
don't.
daughter went hiking today. I said, "Can I go with you and your friends?" No. I'm like, "But I'm the cool mom." She's like, "You think you're the cool mom?"
You were.
Ay,
Yeah.
ay, ay.
So
So what does this say about Wednesday when
this is a bitch
John
ain't
Pryor
crazy.
John Pryor wants to have the whole case dismissed and the death penalty taken off the table? Why don't we throw that into this mixed salad?
That's a noise motion. That's all it is. A noise motion, a waste of time. Just my
Yep.
opinion.
Throw a lot of stuff against the wall. See what sticks.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Good luck.
Come on. I mean, a candy bar, maybe,
Yeah.
not this, buddy. Plus Tammy, come on, man. No, you're not getting off. You're not getting away.
No.
I
But
mean,
whatever, we can entertain it. It'll give us practice. It gives me practice to learn how to do this a little more efficiently. And and we get to visit. So bada bing, bada boom. It's a win-win.
So it'll be very interesting on Wednesday if John Pryor brings up the transport order thing again. Wonder if he'll say he's gotten it by then.
Quite frankly, I'm pretty sure he did. No, I don't know. I just like saying quite frankly. Your Honor.
Because everything this not severing the cases equals no dismissal. That is like logic right there.
Where's that common sense, boo?
I'm not losing any sleep over these filings to be heard Wednesday.
right.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy them. I like to see John Pryor sitting there and his constipated look on his face. I like to see old dead-toed Chad and his chin. It's very entertaining for me.
I'm just trying to show people, if you can, it's kind of blurry. And
that's a status conference.
And this is
Yeah, the memo denying
defendant's motion for severance. Why not a divorce, Chud? Why not a divorce? Chore whore.
And it's just really, I mean, I don't want to say it's really cool because that's probably not the best wording for it, but Gigi and I went back and forth for several days trying to read between the lines and read the leaves and all that. And I'm telling y'all something. Old girl got it together. You hear me? For real. Gigi got it together.
I know. And
He has got
thinking
it
as an
together.
attorney, I'm thinking I just want Gigi on as a guest. And
everything, every domino dropped just about identical to the way she said it should drop.
Yeah.
And
well, geez, I'm so glad I came on because you guys are making me feel a little good. Now, I just, statistically, less than 1% of people go past the 180 days. I mean, she can't fool everybody all the time.
Right.
She can act dumb. They have ways to fish competency out of her. They have ways to ask questions. They have their tricks. And so I didn't think she would play the system a minute longer than she could.
Thank you.
And that's why I think these forensic folks that came in and tested her, I think they've seen right through her stuff. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle's awesome.
Mm-hmm. She's been around just like everybody else. She's been around here. I appreciate it so much. That'll be spending money.
I just want one trial to see them inevitably have to throw the other under the bus because that's what's going to happen.
Mom, please, let's drive the buses up there, please, so we can literally drive the damn buses that that you've had a headache with for the last 20 some odd years. This is like the ultimate statement. It's just like we drive the bus, the proverbial bus that mows all y'all down because they all gonna be flying. I just think it'd be fun. I'd put the victims' faces all over the whole side of it.
We could call it like the Competency Express.
Yeah. Hot Mess Express. It was Thomas Core 2020 is what I called 2020. I was like, this is 2020.
Hot Mess Express. I'll be the captain. I'm always the lead of that hot mess.
And we'll make drinks. Me and Mom are good at making drinks.
As long as they got straws, I'm in.
KJ's last night, since I didn't feel too up to, I took a nap again, and I woke up and I was just like really not feeling it. So I was like, no, I've got the power, self-care, whatever. Tomorrow's another day. That's what God made, another day, a tomorrow. So I scheduled it. I rescheduled it. And I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. Okay.
Um, no, I told you that hopefully we would hear something today to give us a sign
Liz.
as well. Pushed it back to today.
Thank you, Liz. I didn't see that.
Well,
Thank you.
Liz, yeah.
You are so sweet, and just I appreciate it. I do. I'll dance at your wedding. All of them. Lori will dance at your wedding. No. Gigi still owes us a dance.
Oh, oh, my hip hurts, y'all.
Mine too. Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost the competition.
remember my first
I'm supposed to
laugh.
do an interpretive loin fire dance.
Yeah. Fire up the loins. Fire up them loins.
Mm.
But you got to wear some athletic shorts, please.
Oh, girl, you get me in deep.
No, hey, girl, you put it out there, and I was like, oh my gosh,
I look so ridiculous sucking coffee
Thank
through
you,
a straw.
Mary.
Here we are.
I've got a question. I've got a question.
Fire.
Do y'all think Archibald will be there Wednesday on the dismissal thing?
Should he have to be on a normal?
Well,
day?
he didn't show up for the last one.
I don't think he will. I would think it's a filing by prior. So, but you never know.
Yeah, he was there when Pryor filed that other stuff, remember? And that's when Archibald said Lori was listening in that time.
That's right. Maybe
that's why I don't understand why he's there sometimes and he's not there other times.
Right.
And
he's
if
got
they're
a lot
not
of defending to do,
and if there has been an order to keep the joinder together, it would seem to me that he should be there on Wednesday, simply because the cases are joined. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hence, keep your eye out.
It makes sense he would be there, though. I mean, that's a good point you made.
Very sweet. Carrie, I want Carrie Livingston. This lady here, Carrie Livingston, I've seen her on the, I'll just call it the circuit, because it's pretty much this circuit. And I've seen her for long. I don't even remember. It's been a long time. And she knows, I swear, probably about as much, probably a little more than I know. I'm telling you. She just always, is around, and I appreciate you for that, Carrie, and all the other Carries. I don't want anybody to get mad. But if you ever want to come on, you're more than welcome to. So anyways, maybe we'll like do like a trivia or something.
Mikel Waddle's wanting a link, Crusher.
Okay.
I don't know. You're going to have to teach me that. So I don't have to play with it.
Can you email it to yourself? I'll drop it in chat. Anyways, go ahead. Keep on. Keep on keeping on.
Well, I'm just going back to what KJ asked. I would think that since it's not going to be severed, and she had this status hearing today, all we're waiting on is a transport order.
Yeah. It was a scheduling conference. For me, I'm thinking, okay, what do they have to schedule at this point? Her arraignment, her first appearance. I mean, we got to start from the beginning with her.
That is exactly right. You are exactly on point.
I have a question. I mean, I know I'm already going to piss on everybody's parade and come at y'all with the problems. So doesn't she have the right to waive her, to get her speedy trial? That's a constitutional right. Amendment.
Yeah, she can waive her right, but she's not gonna.
Why? Because then she could go and try before he does. It would just, to me, That would be a Laura move.
Good point. I can't imagine why Archibald would want them tried together. I mean, just strategically speaking, to be separate, you know, I don't know. It just depends on how ready he is. He
Yeah.
hasn't got to meet with her since he was appointed to her case. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the portal's broken or not, but I assume.
It could be a moot point if she is really going to be taking some sort of plea deal.
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't see Lori doing that.
Could it break the joinder? You know, could it? I don't
If
understand
she pled
that.
guilty, yeah. I mean, then Chad would say, "Hey, I'm not pleading to anything. I'm going to trial."
So by getting a speedy trial, that would mean you're guilty?
No, it just means she wants to go ahead and go to trial quickly.
Right
I
now.
think it's within 90 days or something. I'm not sure about Idaho specifically.
Something like that. Yeah, it's
The
just
advantage, but that would give Chad an advantage because then he would see everything the prosecution's laying out, and then
and that's it.
yeah,
Oh, it's already like he's Roger Rabbit getting framed and stuff.
Right.
Roger Rabbit.
But for me, I just don't think that Lori would allow herself to plead guilty. I think maybe in the back of her mind, you know, or I don't, that she's probably still thinks she's going to get off on all this.
I think, but she is all about not only, and look, this is just, and Jen and I have talked about this. This is something I have observed over the past 2 and whatever years, is it's not a bad thing as far as when I'm pulling the religion. Okay, so everybody just brace yourself. It's nothing bad. But like, just the kind of person that Lori is, the narcissism. Okay, there's that. She's competitive. There's that. And there's also the thing about, you know, Mormon, Mormon women. It's kind of like and I've heard it from other people that are practicing Mormons, you know, that they have to live up to the standard, you know, like everything's perfect. And I think that's a problem. Like that's a problem for other women out there, having to just pretend like everything's all great when it's really not. And it's okay if it's not, you know, great all the time. But I just think they kind of have that burden, you know, and it just sucks to see that, because I can't imagine. I'd be going nuts with a lot of kids, and I've gone nuts with one. You know, I've just been like, oh my God, stop crying. Please. I've cried on the other side of the door. Just, it's hard.
Yeah.
And so anyways, but there's all these competitiveness about Lori.
Mhm.
And she also has that I'm gonna screw you over before you screw me over attitude. Right. Plus she's impulsive. So there's all that. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Here's the thing though, even if she pleads guilty and doesn't go to trial, she's going to prison for the rest of her life. It's going to be the same, you know, ending whether she gets it over with quickly or she goes to trial. That's the beauty of it. They're caught. They have evidence against them. They're not going anywhere. The rest, their last breath will be in a cell.
And here's another one on top of that. That's just in one state. That's just in one state. Yeah. She still has another state she's got to go check in.
She's got to go braid Jody's hair.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna be best friends. Anyways, whatever.
That's funny.
I don't want her to like have to spend the rest of her days in Arizona because she doesn't like the cold. So we want her in Idaho where it's a little chilly. A lot for the rest of her life. Just turn the air down wherever you're at. Just freeze her out. Anyways. Oh yeah, Colby had they had their little baby girl. He seems to be doing fine. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't talked to my own family. Like I'm just like, I'm gonna come up one day. You know.
Hey, you know what's funny? I have new neighbors and they're from Lake Charles.
And that's what's behind us. That's
right. They're from Lake Charles. I was like, small world.
Lake Chuck, where we don't give up blank. No.
Well, I've got to hop off. I've got all these 10-year-olds running around my house. So it's too quiet. I don't know if they're burning the place down or what. I think I smell incense burning, so I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah.
But we burn incense in our house all the time.
Tell Fruit Loop I said happy birthday.
I will. She is actually at a birthday party right now. So but she said hello to everybody. And yeah, so we're just really happy for you. And we just are like this is it. And
This
then
is
we
for all of
go.
us. These are little victories, and that's why we do what we're doing.
It may be delayed, but it's coming. I mean, you can't wiggle out of this. It's for us. We want it now, right now. We want that.
It's too late.
Confirmation, but it's there. Just breathe, enjoy like a little positive news. It's been a long time since your family has had any positive news regarding her.
Yeah.
So just enjoy it. And we love you guys. And we'll see y'all soon.
Gigi,
Tell your mom I said bye. Bye, Eric.
Well,
Hey, Mikhail. Bye, Mikhail.
Hey, Gigi.
Hi, sweetie. I've been thinking about you. I know it's hard to lose a grandparent. So you've been right here. Been praying for you.
It's been really hard, but I'm barely hanging on some days, but I'm getting there.
I know when I prayed, God was probably like, whoa, who's that? Who's she? I ain't heard from her in a while.
This is Mikhail, y'all.
All right, I'm out. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Gigi.
Hey, Krisha. Hey, Biggie. Hey, KJ.
What's up, young?
How you doing, Mikhail?
I'm having a pretty good day today.
Good.
What do you think about the news?
I'm excited, but try not to get my hopes up in case this isn't what we want.
Just in case it's not what it appears to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, but my gut instinct is it's allowing me to, I don't know, I'm in a good mood, and it's allowing me to do that. So that tells me a lot.
Well, I can tell you what tells me a lot was those comments from your mother, Kay. She was excited. She was happy. And that's what y'all need, is a little happiness in the middle of all this terrible stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Probably moonwalking.
Preach, KJ. Preach, KJ.
I'm just so proud of her and Larry holding their heads up and being the example.
I do. I have the best parents.
And we're all proud of you. None of us would know what we know if it wouldn't be for you. You didn't have to do any of this, but you did it, and it's hard work. It's become something that I know you got to know you're going to be doing for a very, very long time.
So it's like shape up or sit or get up, should I get up the pot, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, Crash, you have to embrace this PTSD. You have to just tell yourself that it's okay to slow down. That way I can start articulating words so that it makes sense to other people, because I know how frustrating it is.
Krisha, I've been suffering from PTSD since 2007. So I understand where you're coming from, and it can be mild for some, and it can be really.
I thought I was having strokes.
Krisha, I'm gonna add something. I think I do have a little bit after this whole ordeal with my grandmother last 2 months. I hate to add and make it a big deal because yours is bigger.
No, it's not bigger. No. Let me stop you there. It's not bigger. There's a loss is a loss is a loss, whether it's grieving somebody that is still alive, a pet, a loss is a loss. Okay, baby girl, that is always here because it needs to be validated. Nothing's greater, nothing's less. It is a loss is a loss, and it hurts.
It hurts, and we had to go to the ER with her. I went in with her. We had a friend take us to the ER because I can't drive. I only have my learners right now. She had been diagnosed with COVID. We went to the ER January the 22nd. I will never forget this. Can't get the vision out of my head. I watched her pass out, and I'll never forget the way she looked. I thought the worst. Thought my worst fear was right then at that moment. Thank God she made it through. her blood pressure had bottomed out and she was very dehydrated. But she came back. What's the right wording? After some fluids, her blood pressure came up and she was perfectly fine within about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
She was perfectly fine. But it scared me. That night she was discharged from the ER. She was sent home.
That happens a lot at life.
And 3 days later, on the 25th of January, she had to be taken back to the ER by my uncle, who worked in the fire service for 34 years, just had retired, and she never came out of the hospital. That is his mom. But
she did as far as her spirit. It's with you. It's in your heart. You carry her on. That's what you do, Michaela.
If you can see it, I'm wearing one of her necklaces right now.
Oh, that's your mama right there. And she's always in your heart.
I don't know if y'all can see it.
We see it.
But I'm wearing one of her necklaces and feel like I carry a piece of her with me.
One of mine too. Oh my gosh. You know.
Aww.
So I mean, it's how what I'm learning from all this. And look, I mean, Eric lost his mom. KJ lost her mom. We every one of us here has suffered some loss. Everyone here in chat, we've suffered loss. You're not alone. You never will be. That's it, but you have to reach out, because that's where I am having an issue right now. I'm trying to make myself more available and to stop long enough to realize that it's not just be so tunnel vision, to ask other people how they're doing. I'm finally getting there,
I have a huge heart, and I make sure everyone is okay, everyone else is okay before I myself make sure. Yeah. Before I make sure I'm okay myself. I check on everyone else.
Michaela.
Yes.
This is KJ. Do you know what? My mom, she went into heaven 3 months ago, and I'm wearing her necklace right now.
Aww.
It makes me feel close to her.
Me too. I put a bird feeder up in honor of her. She loves cardinals. Cardinals were her favorite.
I had 3 visit me one day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I never saw 3 ever.
I've had 2 visit me in one day at one time, and I think it was both my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather, I called him Pop. He passed away 10.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was very close to him, but all in all, I think I've taken this one harder than I took his. But of course, I was 7 or 8 when he passed, and I'm 18 now.
I was born in 1978. Wow. I mean, this is my opinion. This is how I see it. It hurts no matter what. It does. But it seems like it's like a natural circle of life to grow old, have children, be married, have children, have grandkids, great grandkids, that to me makes a full circle. And it's still sad. It's very sad. It's still a loss, but it's not like a 19-year-old getting killed in a car accident and they have all this life ahead of them, or senseless murders like this, all this life ahead of JJ and Tylee and Tammy and Charles, all of them, every one of them.
And I'm so very sorry for your family's losses. And I hated to add my story when we kind of got off topic with my story, but
no, it's welcome. It's on my list. It's because there was nowhere for me to reach out. And it takes everything I have to even reach out, you know? And so I did actually reach out, and the people I called here in town, you know, to join a group, to go to a group, I guess I need to talk about it. And they said it was for grandparents, parents, and siblings. And I was like, it's like that was somebody basically telling me that my pain was not relevant. And I was like, I mean, you're hurting already. You don't know what to do with all these emotions. But then somebody to tell you, well, you know, I get it. People have they have to set up rules. But I'd like to set up a grievance group, you know, where we can all just dedicate so much time and talk about it. It's what it's about. It makes the world go round.
Yes. I'm I find that I don't show emotion in public. Showed no emotion at the funeral.
Have you seen my mom?
I have not met your mom
But I mean, very
on
good
Zoom.
She's very put together. She holds it together, but when she closed the doors, and then it's going out, you know. And
I showed no emotion at the funeral, and you know, beforehand I knew I wasn't going to show any emotion at the funeral because I don't do that in public. And I felt horrible. I felt like people were going to say, "Oh, you don't care," or because you're not showing any emotion.
yeah. So you care. Everybody,
I do care.
nobody gets to tell you how to grieve. I'm passing it on, Jen. Jen. I hope she's here. I'm sure maybe. But if not, this is something I learned from Jen, and it's true. Nobody gets to tell you how to grieve. Nobody. And you don't get to tell anybody else how to grieve. We don't know what it's like to walk in anybody else's shoes. All we can do is empathize with them. And I actually just read an article last night that they are actually extending. I was going to do a story on it, on grievance. I don't know. It's in the DSM-5, and it's like a extended grief period. I don't know the term, but I wasn't expecting to have to bring it up, so I feel bad for not being ready for that. But it's real. It's real, and everybody is in a different. My family. It's been weird because it's like you see them, but then you're not on the same level.
I mean, your family's open to the pub. Your family's story is in the public.
Yeah, if we talk about it, it's like it's easier to talk to you guys about it because sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to upset them if they're not thinking about it, and vice versa. What if they're having a good day, and if I say something, then it's going to spark something.
And that's how a lot of people are with me. But I'm constantly talking about her. And I talk about my grandfather sometimes. I love him with all of my heart. I miss him dearly.
Yeah.
But I don't talk about him as much as I do my grandmother now.
More time with her, and that's okay. It's okay.
But a lot of people are like that with my grandmother. They don't want to bring her up, but I'm constantly talking about her because I want to talk about her because I don't want her memory.
That's what I'll hear. That's
left aside.
Mm-hmm. It's like when we stop speaking their name, when you say their name for the last time, that's when they actually die.
Mhm.
That's when
I'm constantly posting on Facebook. I try to minimize it to once a week.
Yeah.
But I do, and that's like it's a therapy thing for me.
Right.
That's just what I do. I made a TikTok in memory of her. Okay. I don't make TikToks, but I made one of pictures of her and posted it on Facebook. And if you want me to, I can send a private message on Twitter to you. And Big E and KJ, if you're on Twitter.
we're not twit. We're I mean, I have it, but I rarely go on Facebook anymore. But
She knows I'm on Twitter. We just talked
yeah,
today.
we can
Yeah.
get it.
I'm-
I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I'm not a Twitter. I'm just a twit.
Me too.
Okay. I will say that I'm very, very excited to get this case moving forward.
All right.
Right?
Get this case rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time for her to toe the line.
It's been overtime. I mean, she was ready 6 months ago.
Mhm.
Pressure.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on that 8-page document right now.
Okay.
If
Just
you want to
tell it to me.
go over it while we're live.
Yeah, just if you'll email it to me, then once you get it,
What is the 8-page document about?
The
It'll be-
severance.
the details.
Yeah, it's the decision and the memo from Boyce for the severance today.
Is that coming from cases of interest?
I don't know.
Is it
No.
coming? Is it coming
No.
from cases of interest?
No.
Where do you get your legal documents?
Right.
Oh, come on.
From the board.
I just found a friend in Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Nate Eaton's, he just put it out on Twitter where he had
y'all stay here because we'll bring it to you.
he'd spoken with Kay, I guess, via text. And
It's what?
he had spoke to your mom about it. The article is about
I'm
him
so
and
confused. Like I don't know what.
Nate just put out an article and a clip on Twitter where he said he'd talked to your mom and she's relieved, and I don't have it on now, I forget, but it's an 8-page document.
Okay. Well, I mean, Mom said she was happy here.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, I didn't know if everybody else.
I know I'm no Nate Eaton. I don't have a chopper in the backyard, you know. Everybody get in the chopper.
Where'd Mikhail go? Mikhail, come back.
I don't know where she went. She can come back anytime. I'm trying to do so. I'm trying to.
Did you, Laura? Did you know that on East Idaho News they've got Kay Woodcock in this? Have you read it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well let me read it. It just came out.
Okay.
It says here. It says JJ Vallow's grandmother says she's relieved after learning the murder trial for Chad and Lori VALLOW DAYBELL will be held together after a judge rejected a request to separate the cases. In a memorandum filed Monday, District Judge Stephen Boyce denied John Pryor's motion to sever the trials. Pryor is Chad Daybell's attorney and arguing during a hearing Friday that his client would not be given a fair and impartial trial if his proceedings were not separated from Lori VALLOW DAYBELL. And then it goes on and it says, defendant's main argument centers on his contention that uncertainty will result due to the co-defendant Vallow's status and the stay in the effect of her case. Boyce wrote in the 8-page memo, which y'all can also get on East Idaho
I'm going
News.
to get it right now.
While the court does not dispute there may be additional burden on the defense presented by an inability to know at the time whether the co-defendant Vallow will be fit for trial when the trial begins, that uncertainty is preparing for trial is not a determinative factor for the court to consider in reviewing Idaho Criminal Rule 14 relief from prejudicial joinder or the cases interpreting it. Boyce wrote that having the trials together will be efficient, economic, and avoid possible inconsistent verdicts. He said the decision should in no way be construed as a stay on this case pending. the competency determination of Lori Daybell and noted the trial will proceed as scheduled in Ada County on January 9th of 2023. Kay Woodcock, JJ's grandmother, says she is happy with the decision. I am so relieved. Having this case joined will save us from more emotional torture, she told EastIdahoNews.com. We have already been through enough anguish from this evil duo. They'll be staring at each other in court, feeling miserable they can't touch. Pryor has also filed a motion to have the indictment and death penalty against Chad Daybell dismissed. A hearing on these issues is scheduled for Wednesday. A scheduling conference in Lori Daybell's case was held Monday afternoon, but the proceedings were sealed and closed to the public. So this is what I get. If there was any updates, Judge Boyce already received the 2 reports from the doctors last week. He also had a hearing today. If it was so bad that it looked like there was no way they could meet this January of 2023 thing, he would have severed that case, but he knows that he can get this in.
Yeah, I didn't know. I absolutely missed it where it said that the document was on East Idaho's site. So all you got to do is go to that article, Crescia, and the document's right there.
I'm doing
I
it
didn't
right
see
now.
that. I apologize for that.
Okay,
I did not see them.
Because I think, hey, can y'all see my screen? Did it share?
I've got the 8-page document right in front of me.
So do I.
Do y'all see my screen is what I want to know.
Yeah, I see you.
Because
I
see you.
Okay. No, not me. Do y'all see East Idaho News on my
Oh,
screen?
No.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at, guys. I'm like, come on. Oh. Come on. Pion. Let me know when y'all do, because it puts everything in front of it. What if I started digging in my nose?
I'm
Come on.
curious to read it.
Wait,
I know
what?
he's missed
I can't hear you.
just a couple lines in it.
What?
Nate just mentions a couple lines out of the memo.
Oh my god! I can push play. There's a story. Oh well, I'll just play it.
Hey everybody, Nate Eaton here in the EastIdahoNews.com newsroom with some new developments, breaking developments in the chat and more.
Now, can y'all hear it?
Yeah, I
Could y'all
can.
hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
Daybell case, Judge Stephen Boyce has rejected a motion to separate the cases. This was a request from John Pryor, Chad Daybell's attorney. He filed a motion to sever the cases. Now, right now, both Chad and Lori are being tried with the same things, and their cases are tied together. And assuming that Lori VALLOW DAYBELL is held competent, they will go to trial together in January in Ada County. Well, Pryor filed a motion and argued his side, his version of why they should be separated during a hearing on Friday at the Madison County, it was on Zoom, but it was part of the Fremont County court system. But Pryor basically said, we don't know the status of Lori VALLOW DAYBELL, and because of that, Judge, we should separate the cases. Well, Boyce came back with an 8-page memo filed Monday and said, that's not enough reason to separate the cases. Let me quote from part of it. This is Judge Boyce. He said, defendant's main argument centers on his contention that uncertainty will result due to co-defendant VALLOW's status and the stay that's in effect in her case. Of course, her case is on hold right now because she's incompetent. Boyce continues, while the court does not dispute there may be an additional burden on the defense presented by the inability to know at this time whether co-defendant VALLOW will be fit for trial when the trial begins, that uncertainty in preparing for trial is not a determinant factor for the court to consider in reviewing Idaho Criminal Rule 14. That criminal rule is basically whether you should separate the trials, or the case is interpreting it. So the judge says that's not enough reason for us to separate these cases. Now, I reached out to Kay Woodcock, JJ VALLOW's grandmother, and she wrote back. She sent me a text message. Her response today, she said, I am so relieved Having the cases joined will save us from more emotional torture. We have already been through enough anguish from this evil duo. They'll be staring at each other in court, feeling miserable they can't touch. Now, assuming that that was Kay Vallow, that was Kay Woodcock, JJ Vallow's grandmother. Assuming this does go to trial, if Lori is found competent here in the next few months and the trial is held together in January, they will both be in the courtroom as the state puts on their case. We've been told that they've requested up to 10 weeks for this trial, 2 of those weeks for jury selection, and then the remaining weeks for witnesses, for evidence, for everything else, deliberations that happens with the trial. But if all goes as planned, the trial will begin January 9th of 2023. So again, news today, Judge Boyce has rejected a motion to sever the cases. Chad and Lori Daybell, right now their cases are still connected, still together, and they will go to trial together, assuming that Lori VALLOW DAYBELL is held competent. The next hearing is Wednesday. That's when John Pryor has filed another motion for the charges against Chad, the indictment against Chad to be dropped. Maybe reporting in the East Idaho News newsroom.
I'm Krisha Easton. Thanks.
How do you take that down, Krisha?
Did I put that up?
No, I put it. I'm talking about the Jennifer Diane highlight there at the bottom, so we can see the whole document.
You go to the in the comments, because I'm not there yet. Go to comments and you go to the top and it says hide latest comment. Never mind. I'll go. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm sorry, y'all.
I see hide. Oh yeah.
We have a bad.
I got you. Okay, we're learning things, man. We are learning things on this.
What's all that noise? I was trying to figure that out earlier.
That sounded like a printer or something.
Yeah, it's printing it out. I apologize.
I print too. I'm a printer.
So can you all see that when up with that size right there? Yay or no?
I'm gonna tuck us behind. I'm gonna tuck us all behind. That way it's a little bigger.
Can they see it? They just want me to read it, or what do you want me to do?
Is that better?
You just want me to read it?
Yeah. I'm just now getting back to the screen where I can see it. Y'all see this big bank right here? This big tall building to the left? That's where my Papa Vallow worked as a banker.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, it got destroyed in the hurricane. So,
wow.
Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, it says this matter came before the court for hearing on March 18th, 2022, on a motion for severance filed by the defendant, Chad Daybell, on September 7th. After consideration of the pleadings on the record herein and the arguments presented at a hearing on the motion, the court renders this opinion and order. On May 24, 2021, a Fremont County jury returned an indictment charging defendants Daybell and Vallow with multiple crimes. In counts 1 and 2 of the indictment, Mr. Daybell was charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and grand theft by deception in relation to the death of Tylee Ryan. In counts 3 and 4 of the indictment, Daybell was charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and grand theft by deception in relation to the death of J.J. Vallow. In counts 5 and 6 of the indictment, Mr. Daybell was charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and first-degree murder in relation to the death of Tamara Daybell. In counts 8 and whatever the hell IX is, Mr. Daybell is charged with counts of felony insurance fraud. I think that's 9, isn't it? I don't know. On August 5th, the state filed its notice of intent to seek the death penalty. Mr. Daybell was previously charged on June 20th, 2020 in Fremont County Case 22-2755 with multiple felonies relating to alleged alteration or destruction of evidence. in which case the underlying facts relate to the case at bar. Co-defendant Lori Noreen Vallow's case relating to the grand jury indictment is currently stayed pursuant to 18212 after a determination that she is not fit to proceed. For purposes of determining this motion, the court also considers that the Mr. Daybell and Lori Vallow are married, and that subsequent to the commencement of this case, Lori Vallow was indicted in another murder case in Arizona. On September 7, 2021, Mr. Daybell, hereinafter will be called the defendant, filed a motion for severance pursuant to ICR Rule 14. He contends that a joint trial would be prejudicial, arguing that the difficulty in preparing the defense and doing the necessary preparation when there is uncertainty as to whether one of the co-defendants will be present for trial creates a number of evidentiary challenges. The state filed its response and objection on February 24, 2022, arguing that the defendant has failed to meet his burden of establishing a joint trial would be prejudicial. The matter came before the court for a hearing on March 18, 2022, and the court considered the testimony and argument of counsel. For the reasons explained herein, the motion for the severance is denied. Standard of adjudication. Actions properly joined under ICR 8 may be severed under ICR 14 if it appears that a joint trial would be prejudicial. I'm not going to read that case law. The defendant has the burden of showing such prejudice. A motion to sever is directed to the trial court's discretion, and this court will not overturn a denial of the motion unless the trial court has abused its discretion. When reviewing an order denying a severance motion, the inquiry on appeal is whether the defendant has presented facts demonstrating that unfair prejudice resulted from a joint trial. Discussion. Defendant brings the current motion for severance pursuant to ICR 14 as opposed to ICR 8. In pertinent part, defendant contends that uncertainty resulting from co-defendant Lori Vallow's status and current state will have a beneficial impact on his rights. Additionally, he contends that evidence of other wrongs or acts by Lori Vallow will have a negative impact on jurors should these two co-defendants remain joined. The state responds by arguing that severance pursuant to ICR 14 is not required under the circumstances of the case, and that the defendant has failed to establish the existence of prejudice that would warrant a severance of the co-defendants. Why does this seem like I'm just reading the same thing over and over? In analyzing whether joinder is prejudicial, no courts have considered three potential sources of prejudice when considering a motion to sever based on ICR 14. 1. The jury may confuse and accumulate the evidence and convict the defendant of one or both crimes when it would not convict him of either if it could keep the evidence properly segregated. 2. The defendant may be confounded in presenting defenses as where he desires to assert his privilege against self-incrimination with respect to one crime but not the other. Or 3, the jury may conclude that the defendant is guilty of one crime. Crack it up. Whoever cracked it up, get me one of them, would you? The jury may conclude that the defendant is guilty of one crime and then find him guilty of the other because of his criminal disposition. The defendant has the burden of showing such prejudice. In addition, In this case, the defendant is facing charges of conspiracy. The court is persuaded with the state's argument, supported by federal case law, that conspiracy charges weigh in favor of the state's objection to severing these cases. With this framework, the court concludes that the defendant has failed to meet his burden in establishing that a joint trial would be prejudicial, thus necessitating severance. Defendant's main argument centers on his contention that uncertainty will result due to the co-defendant Vallow's status and the stay in effect in her case. While the court does not dispute there may be an additional burden on the defense presented by an inability to know at this time whether co-defendant Vallow will be in trial when the trial begins.
Laugh out loud, KJ.
That uncertainty in preparing for trial is not a determinative factor for the court to consider in reviewing ICR 14 or the cases interpreting it. Says, as noted above, prejudicial joiner results from, oh, okay, that's just Cliff Notes. Defendant has not alleged nor shown that any of these forms of prejudice have resulted or will result based on the stay and effect in Vallow's case. The trial in this case is not set until January 2023, providing the defense adequate time to prepare whether the trial takes place with or without the co-defendant. In addition, the court agrees with the state's assertion that careful jury instructions in this case. What is that?
I think KJ's cooking.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know you could hear it.
Oh yeah. I was muted, but anyways, go ahead.
How do I mute it?
Click on your microphone button.
Yeah, put on speaker, but well, you won't be able to. I don't know.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just stop cooking. How's that? Sorry, I was listening while I was cooking.
Oh, you can still hear everything. Just click on your mic.
I know, but I don't want it to be a distraction. It's that time of evening where I got to start supper.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
I'm one of them old-fashioned gals, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm just jealous, really. Oh, I know how you do it, KJ. You're going to do it right here in StreamYard. You can push right where you're, where you see your picture underneath backstage, I guess.
Yeah.
You're going to hit the little microphone button.
To turn it off?
It'll cut it off.
That'll mute you so we'll hear it.
And you'll be able to hear us, but we won't be able to hear you. But when you come back on, don't forget to unmute it because I can't see you,
Okay. Is it the stop mic cam?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, all right. Tech support. We're getting better.
Okay.
In addition, too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In addition, the court agrees with the state's assertion that careful jury instructions in this case can neutralize the effect of any prejudicial evidence as explained in that case law. In particular, the court concludes that the concern of Vallow's charges in another jurisdiction creating prejudice at trial can be cured through motions in limine and appropriate instructions to the jury. In support of the motion, the defendant also requests that the state be ordered to present to this court in camera statements and or other evidence the state intends to offer from each defendant.
Hey.
Huh?
Oh, okay. I was making sure. Let me mute my mic. Sorry.
At the outset, the court will note that ICR 14 provides the court the discretion to order any statements and confessions the court deems germane to the issue of determining relief from prejudicial joinder. However, the rule is not so broad as to permit the order of any other evidence that may or may not be introduced at trial. Having considered the argument in support of the defendant's motion, the court concludes that ordering the state to deliver in-camera evidence is not warranted. Both parties represented that discovery has been extensive in this matter and that discovery is complete or nearly complete. Despite the extensive discovery that has taken place, defendant has not identified what statement, if any, should be ordered for in-camera review by this court. While the rule contemplates that it is the state that may be ordered to provide the information, it is still incumbent on the defendant to show the prejudice in the joinder. By merely requesting the court to make its own broad review of the evidence without making any proffer as to what specific statements or confessions are prejudicial, the defendant has not met the burden here to demonstrate a need for any such review. Furthermore, during the hearing on this matter, the court specifically inquired of the state as to whether any concerning statements or confessions existed that would necessitate the court's review, including whether a Bruton issue exists. The state represented that such statements or confessions did not exist, and the court has considered that representation from the prosecutor as an officer of the court in concluding that an in-camera review is not necessary and will not be required. In conjunction with the state's representation and in the absence of any identification of potentially harmful statements or confessions, defendant's request for such an order is hereby denied. Having determined that the defense has not met its burden to persuade the court that a jury is likely to confuse evidence in this case, that the defense will be unable to meaningfully present defenses, or that a jury is likely to base a guilty determination in this case due to evidence of criminal disposition, the court must conclude that the case will not be severed. Further, the court concludes that a joint trial in this case will serve the interests of justice by providing for judicial economy and efficiency and avoiding possible inconsistent verdicts. Accordingly, defense motion for severance on this basis is denied. Finally, the decision to deny the motion to sever in this case shall in no way be construed as a stay on this case pending the competency determination of co-defendant Lori Vallow. Severance is a legal issue relating independently to each defendant in their conspiracy case. However, availability for trial is not determined under the same legal analysis. While it is true, as the state has urged the court to consider, that defendant waived his speedy trial right, that waiver is not indefinite in time or scope. Notwithstanding his waiver, and notwithstanding the current inability of the co-defendant to be brought to trial, due process still requires that the defendant be afforded a jury trial without unnecessary or excessive delay. Therefore, the court's December 3rd, 2021 scheduling order requiring trial to commence on January 9th, 2023 remains in full force and effect. Conclusion. Based on the foregoing reasons, defendant Chad Daybell's motion for severance is hereby denied. So he he broke it down he broke all the arguments that
Yeah.
prior laid it down. So that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. Very. Hold on, let me unhide us. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna finish smoking and then I'll be back on.
Wow.
But
So what
anyways,
do you think, y'all? What do you think
I'm
about that?
mm, I'm ready to rock and roll. Hooch coo. Stick my leg out when she passed in front of me. No. I'll be doing it in my head though. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy. It's about damn time. You know?
Absolutely. Ain't nobody gonna piss on my parade tonight. I promise you
That's
that.
right. So let's enjoy these, I guess, these little victories. And that's sad, right? We're celebrating victories on murder. It's just so gross. They're gross. On KJ's channel last night, I think it was Jean Panek, which I say panic because that's what I would say because I'm always panicked. But anyways, she came up with shit, the Chinians. That's Chad's. Well, that's what we'll call his little group. His little, instead of Arizona bitches, we'll just call them the Chinians instead of the minions. So I laughed so hard when I heard that. I was like, "That's perfect." Kind of like the restore lore horror. Crack up. Oh yeah, I'm ready. I hope she better be ready. She's always been ready.
She's ready.
Action Jackson. So time to step up, batters up, batter up. Pun intended, or should I say punt intended? Or is it bunt? Am I messing everything up? Anyways. Oh, Uncle Charles, he was such a corny dude. He was so corny. That's where the only jokes I remembered are his. So there you go. But what do you think, Eric?
I think it was just another one of the dominoes that had to fall to get us to where we need to be at. And like I put on my video right before we came on, just so I could get it out there that you and I was going to be live at 7. That, everything's got to be signed in triplicate. Well, I'm confident that 2 of them signatures or 2 of those are signed.
So
We're just waiting on that last one, and it's coming here real soon.
do you think that, and I mean, I'm asking everybody, do y'all think that both of the doctors, the forensic psychiatrists, found her competent, or do you think one and one? I was always worried about what if one comes back with one and one comes back with the other. And then I was like, oh well, they should have did 2 out of 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Paper, scissors, rock.
I think if this is just my opinion, but I think if there had been a split, I don't think Boyce would move forward with it.
Right.
I
I agree with you on that. Both. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. This thing moves. Anyway, rhombohedral says, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, they are already socially dead. Right? They're zombies. As in locked up till death will do him in, be it on life, be it on the end of death row, be it prison justice. Oh, it's 0. Okay. Well, I like it.
And I told Gigi today, and Lori still to this very second doesn't give 2 shits about what she done to those kids,
He
or to
doesn't.
Charles, or to Charles, or to anybody else. You know why Lori doesn't want to come in front of everybody? It's because
She's
of her
embarrassed.
physical looks. Her physical looks.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to see the real Lori.
A murder's
Daybell.
going to murder. A narcissist is going to narcissist. I mean, it's like a lot of people have said, she might have just had a break. And I mean, I'm guilty of thinking that also. But that's the human in us. We don't see it in them. And so then we're like, oh my God, it just is so awkward and evil because we want that reaction, that humanistic reaction from those two, and we don't get it from people who are narcissists.
No, and they've hid behind. They was hiding behind lawyers before they ever left Idaho the first time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so they've. I would love to know all these interviews that Pryor is talking about that Chad's done with law enforcement, that Lori's done with law. Where the hell did they take him? When? Where?
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about the Bruton issue rules or whatever it's called. But if you got all these, he seems to be the guy who's talking about having them all.
Who?
Pryor.
I know. It seems like he kind of let it slip out, and that's what I was studying them. Trying to, like we said, read between the lines, read what they're not saying.
Yeah, I mean, the only audio that we've heard in court was that little clip with Melanie Gibb, and there was a small clip where she was talking to the cops in Idaho. But I mean, as far as I know damn good and well that neither one of them has done a sit-down interview with any cop. I'll bet everything I own.
Oh, I lie. I'm except for Lori with her little victim room. Like when I say interviewed, when Chandler Police Department interviewed Lori when she meditated right on out of there, she was going visit Chad. She was astral projecting right there. And
Talk about with Charles
Chandler.
Yeah.
So she was. Yeah, there is no bad cop. They're bad. There's some bad police work, some bad investigation. There's no. I'm not gonna say that because that's not all the way true. It was very extensive. This is huge, and anyways, there's many ways in which they failed, and that's just another one for me. Is just putting her in there with a damn teddy bear. Giving her a victim's advocate so she can go and tell her niece, Melanice, oh, just ask for a victim's advocate. And I'd be damned if she didn't. She sure did. Party of one. Victim's advocate, party of one. Oh my gosh.
And that was something else that broke. Jalon broke it almost at the exact same time that
what?
Alistair Adele, the district attorney in Arizona, she resigned today.
Okay.
Resigned today. So
the 1,200, the one with the 1,200 cases.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So we need to.
That's how the trash takes itself out, y'all. That's what I try to say. Karma. What goes around comes around. What's done in dark will come to the light. It may not be there as fast as we'd like it to, but it will eventually, and it has to in this instance, because this is just freaking the evil of evils. Like there's the holy of holies, just it's opposite of that.
Right.
So,
but we need to figure out somehow to get all this back in front of whoever the new boss is in Arizona.
I don't know. I think what do you call it? The statute of limitations or whatever. 2 years.
Not for murder. There's no statute on it.
I'll have to look. I had jumped into KJ's chat the other night, and that's what everybody was talking about, because I wanted to wear, I know I can want one hand and boot in the other and clap. I know I don't, but these are things that I think about. I have them written down, and I take, when I read my comments and stuff like that, I always ask for y'all to, contribute if you want to, because everybody sees things differently. Everybody picks another angle and this and that. And it's just like, yeah. And it's so much info, so much to cover. And it's just like all the ways, for all of them. all the things that failed them. And it would be great to just compile that together. And I mean, even if, let's say that we can never change the statute of limitations or whatever, we still can apply that, and get it to where it needs to go, set up what we need to set up to push for new laws, to make changes in policy, procedure. That's where we do it. That's so
Right.
nuts. And I'm game. I
Yeah,
always
because
thought I was weird because I'd read like owner's manuals and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, this is weird, you know? But really, Mom told me that my grandfather, he wrote up the FDIC whatever for his bank, the one in our background, you know? So that's something that he did. And he was a genius, you know? So I don't know. It's just something I enjoy doing.
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Tedious
yeah, but
stuff.
the only thing that has bothered me since they come out and said they're not going to charge Chad in Arizona is they're using this excuse because they don't think they can get a conviction. Well, you know what? That's not really your job as a district attorney. Your job is to put a case before a jury. You let a jury decide whether or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not
But I
about a
mean,
district attorney's
but
win and
you know,
loss rate.
it
It's
is kind of, from what I'm learning from this, is that they have to have enough for it to stick. If not, they're just going to waste tax dollar payers, whatever. Y'all know what I mean.
yeah,
Anyway,
that seems to be their go-to line, you know. And I'm just like, you know, what the hell?
I did, Ashley. Thank you. Yeah, we have a bad storm coming in. So go ahead. It sucks. All these things failed. And I do want to say, there's, me and Mom have kind of talked about it recently. The only place, or, the only people,
You either froze up or your volume went out or something. Can you hear me? Kat, can you hear me? Can you hear her?
hi.
There you are. Atta girl.
Well, we have a bad storm coming in, and so here we go.
Oh,
So that's that. Um, anyways, I don't know what I was saying, but I don't know. We can make changes. We can prevent this from happening to the next Tylee, the next JJ, the next Uncle Charles, the next Uncle Joe, and Daddy Joe, and you know what I mean. These are
yeah.
that's where we make a difference. That's how we make a difference. And so I'm on board, 144,000% for sure. I'm on board, and I know we can make a difference. I know we can.
You know,
Because
I hate it that gal has a drinking problem, but don't think for a second that I didn't let her have it on Twitter. Oh, boy, Alistair Dow, the Arizona DA that resigned today.
she doesn't care, or he.
No, exactly.
That's why you can't really argue with a narcissist. It's like telling an alcoholic that they're an alcoholic. It's like telling a drug head they're a drug head. It's like telling a narcissist they're a narcissist. You don't do it. It does not. Something's wrong with you, not me. That's
Yeah.
it's.
But let me ask you this in all seriousness. Can you make me not see the digital footprint that Chad and Lori had with Alex in the dock dump can you make me not see Lori and Chad in the storage unit, putting the tire away? Can you make me not see all this evidence after already seeing it?
No.
Is that possible?
I accidentally saw that picture of Uncle Charles that was not covered, and I can't unsee it. Yeah, so you can't unsee it.
So what?
You cannot be biased.
Right, but what? Right, but how can a DA justify that as it not being
Maricopa County is
conspiracy?
dirty.
That's what's got me, Kat. And they're expecting us to believe that Alex, Lori, and Chad came up with this grand conspiracy. Well, no, let me take that back. Not even Chad now. So Alex and Lori, all by their own thoughts and actions, and did it all by themselves, conspired to kill Brandon Boudreaux. Melanie ain't been charged.
That's pretty crappy. That's pretty crappy because they sure were Googling.
Exactly.
And beep boop boop beep boop boop boop. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, you on your way back? All right, stop by Burger King.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, Del Taco.
Lori Googling them to see if it.
Gene, did you hear Arizona had noted Tylee as possible suspect involved in Charles' murder? I heard it on, I know, one of Annie's FOIA doc videos. I don't really know how to answer that. Did they put suspect on it, or was she just was it very technical? Because for the longest it was second degree murder, right, Eric?
Well, it started out as first degree murder,
but because it was self-defense, it was like, you know.
Yeah, it was the second degree murder because that's the. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right.
So if I go by the technical terms, you know, if I just go by the.
I don't remember it. I don't remember
I really don't know. And at that point,
Tylee was a suspect, though.
Right. I never heard that.
Yeah, I didn't read that. No,
they may say that in there. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really speak to that.
I know there was people asked if it does say that people asked if they did a GSR test on her.
Right. I mean, just to rule it out. You're there. You're doing your job. Just do your job. Finish it all the way, and that way you CYA cover your ass.
Which they didn't even do that. You know.
No,
they didn't do it. They didn't do it on Tylee.
What if they had shot Tylee that day? You know, I just thought of this. You know, what if it was the kids that day? You know, would they have gone over it a little better, or is it just sloppy police work? It sucks. Nonetheless, it needs to be better. There needs to be better policies, procedures, thoroughness, a different approach to this.
Well, it's just like with his phone.
Yeah.
Why was Lori still traveling around with his phone?
Because she's
several days after they had killed him.
See, now I've heard days, and then I've also heard a couple hours later. So either way, if it was in the car, then he was not parading around with it. I mean, she wasn't. You can have your phone because I want to see. You know,
she had it.
I don't think there was any confrontation. Maybe just briefly. I really feel he walked in the door and got ambushed. Like just.
Oh, he did. He did. And
actually, I'm gonna let some of this out. This is something that Jason had seen in the FOIA docs, and it's very sad. So, trigger warning, literally. And I don't know, but there were abrasions and stuff on my uncle's knees.
Yeah.
Like maybe he had to beg for his life. I don't know. That's very. Well, that'll piss you right off, huh?
Yeah. Well,
And so
that'll
I don't. Yeah, let's not saying I don't want it because it needs to be talked about, but I don't have that in front of me to really speak to it and just kind of hash it out. And again, I'm not trying to solve any of these things. That's for the, I mean, we still have to go to trial for Uncle Charles, hopefully, and so if all these things, everybody unredacted and trying to fill in with the speculation, that freaks me out. I also want to know, trust me, but I just don't know. I get a little, and it's no, because we've done it, but I just feel like it takes the integrity of the case away just because we're impatient, and we want to know. I want to know too. I mean, I've looked up at those things and I've just been like, well, I've had to accept the fact that we just have to wait and it will reveal itself in due time. And I know that sucks. I'm not a patient person, but I have learned to be.
let me ask you this, and chat too, because
If it was your family, like, what would you do? That's what I want to know. Am I being off about that? Like,
no,
I really do value everybody's opinions because I don't want to. I like to reflect off of everyone. That's what I need. So, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask because I can go back into the document and find it, but I don't really need to because his phone. Now, this is where I want you guys to help me. Is his phone didn't stop activity, Google searching,
Google app was open.
et cetera, until 3 days after they had killed him. So that tells me that she had his phone, right? Or is there another way that all that can still be going on because
Maybe
of all this?
switching a SIM card because they were iPhones. They had nothing but Apple. I mean, from laptops to tab, everything was Apple. So
what she's searching or doing on her phone would show up on his too? Is that how that works?
I mean, you can switch SIM cards. Like I have 3 phones right here, but one of them doesn't have a SIM card. But I can take one. It's just on Wi-Fi. But I can take, somebody on the same network, which they were on the same network, right? And you just switch the SIM card, and then it would start tracking. Then it would basically swap identities on the phone.
Huh.
Well,
I know Zach. I know when him and his dad was doing an interview with Jalum, Zach said that she had it for 3 days too.
Yeah.
Before they got it back. So
I think maybe we should go back over that because it just from what you're reading and what you're hearing, it's not matching up. It's just a little, and I'm not blaming anybody. Trust me, but we want the facts, right?
Well,
we can't deal with omissions and lies because I don't know how to navigate around those, right? But if it's straightforward, then I can handle the truth because I can move.
I'll say what you're not wanting to say.
I'll say
is they absolutely screwed that investigation up and they know it, and it's in that doc dump. You can prove it in that doc dump where they covered it up or tried to cover it up because old girl had his phone for 3 days and that detective tries to make it look like that wasn't the case. Sorry, but
yeah.
Also here's a nugget for everybody. Both detectives, the guy from Chandler and the guy from
Gilbert,
both detectives have removed themselves from the case because they supposedly just couldn't handle it anymore. So
Yeah.
they went back to writing tickets.
Well, isn't that funny? Because the one, oh, what the hell, Moffat,
Yeah.
allegedly, this is my opinion. I listened to him talk to, and I say talk because that's all it was. Oh, honey, basically, can I serve y'all some tea? I'm like, hit them with some harder questions,
Yeah.
Hey,
Quit throwing softball questions and throw a fast pitch on it.
I'm like, I had to testify for my mom and dad. I was put on the stand when I was 12, and I shook my head when I answered, and he was like, "You have to say yes or no." And I started crying. So I mean, I'm just saying, I was 12. These are grown ass women with kids who pray some really effed up ways, and that is one thing that I have. I mean, I'm going to do is find a way to prove. I don't know how. I don't know how, but that when you pray for somebody spiritually like that, even the cop that was interviewing or met with my Uncle Charles the first time, the night when he showed up and his truck was gone and he had to break into his house, and dude was like, I don't speak Mormon. I'm not Mormon. But then he schooled my uncle on how to say it's a S. I not speculate, but it's something. It was a cop term, And so my uncle said, I'm sorry. I'll have to, teach myself to remember that," or something like that. What word was it? Damn it.
Was it
Kind of
him?
like allegedly, kind of like the allegedly thing. Anyways, I suspect that she stole my truck, yada, yada, yada. So turn around, instead of listening to him, he's like, just, y'all can see it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially the next day, he was out of his box, and nobody was taking him seriously. He took every avenue. You go to your clergy, you go to the cops, you go to teachers, and that's what we're taught to do. Firefighters, you go to people in that position to help, and everybody failed him except, and this is, we want to help out where JJ went to school. Eventually,
Yeah.
Life Academy, because they did a stand-up job. They're the only ones who did anything twice.
Yeah.
And so I just have a lot of respect for that school and those employees. Those they I can't imagine. But anyways, I don't know. There's just things. And so instead of the cop, schooling Uncle Charles on how to talk cop, he could have been listening to him. But yeah, you can hear in that, the cops like, destroy. That's not murder. But then it is. It's like the spiritual thing. How do I prove that it does affect people? How do you prove something? And this is about as close as we're going to get to proving it, because it's in text.
Right.
It's
right.
There's no other way I can be like, she prayed for him and he died. I mean, you can't just do it by verbal. I wouldn't think. I don't know. You can do all things through Christ. That's what I keep telling myself over and over and over again. But I mean, it is bullshit. And it's like, hey, it's okay to do whatever you want. It's okay to be freaking evil. It's okay to be greedy. It's okay to tell lies by omission, even. It's okay to be part of this conspiracy. It's okay. But, let's apply this to the little boy that, went to school and his parents, they're having the Crumblies, having to be held responsible for, all that. It's just time that people stop asking for damn victims advocates and start being just being accountable for your own shit. And then
start being convicted.
right. And so it sucks. It is BS. It's like, how do you prove that? Like I said, this is about as much proof in my lifetime. I pray the real way. Please, God, let that be the only time I experience anything like this. I hope nobody else ever has to, but I mean, it exists. It exists.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, look at your energy healers. Look at Julie Rowe. Look at Zalima. If they say it works, right?
Julie Clement.
All of them.
Yeah,
Christina, they don't get talked about enough. Nicole Earl, Christina Atwood, Serena Sharp, Melanie Gibb, Melanie Boudreau. I'm sorry, Melanie Cope Boudreau Pulowski. Ian, come on now. It's just like enough's enough. Y'all need to learn how to square up, man up.
That is, if you're looking to find any ounce of respect in Chad Daybell, that is just a little snippet of respect that I do have for the man. At least he's facing it head on.
Oh no, because he had to. But my parents sure did put out. They wrote letters. Chad. Anytime they were in front of cameras, they were saying, Chad, she's just gonna. You're next. You're next. If you do the right thing, you have kids. Do the Christ-like thing, the Christian thing. This isn't being a Christian. They pled. They did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the entire nation pled with him. Again, he's just like the rest of them. Oh, they're okay till they get caught. Then it's like, okay, well, yeah. And that's how they are interviewed. Just like Rexburg police down in Arizona interviewing Melanie Gibb. And they're like, did you do this or whatever? And you called her mom. Oh, yeah, not 100%. There's a whole lot of things not 100%. She's saying it all right there. I'll agree. Not 100%. She's not 100%. But yeah, also to stop these people from writing books and making money off of this shit. I don't think so. No, because their books sucked before.
Yeah, they won't be allowed to profit off of it.
I don't want their temple recommends, but I don't think I can do that because that's church and state. I just don't. They really look. I mean, Lori was. I'm going to commit murder. Talking about Joe, or give me my temple recommend. So he gave me my temple recommend.
Yeah.
What the frick? And then all these other people, Hector Sosa, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. Anyways, Hector Sosa, talking about everything except for multiple moral probations and energy healing. But everything, I'm telling you, it reminds me of Fun with Dick and Jane, that movie, when the company is folding and everybody's running with ficuses and shredding papers. And, that's what I picture in my mind. They're just like, scrub the internet. And that's, it's just disgusting. You can't just keep doing that. Because I'm sure together we all have all the evidence in our phones, in our computers. Just saying. You know, it's
Well,
like I've got
right.
120,000 screenshots just right here. Thousands. Maybe I'll make it to 144,000. I'm sure. Anyways, it's just you thought it was a Tupperware recommend? No. Oh, you might have. Just like I had in the beginning when Lori was talking about if it comes at you once, if it comes at you twice, if it comes at you 3 times, and then she stops, of course. But I thought she said something about the slushy room, but she said celestial room. Anyways, I thought it was slush room. I was like, maybe that's where you cry, slush. I don't freaking know. So I'm sorry, I was talking fast. Got a little excited. It happens every now and then. It's just very aggravating. It's frustrating. And it's like, well, I don't even understand how Zalema slipped through this. Or I don't want to have to wait. I don't want anybody to be a star witness. They all suck. You know? I say they all should have been arrested in the beginning. And then you just sit there and hold them out until they start saying, pretty bird, pretty bird. You know? Not good, Bob. Whatever their little code words were. I'd have just kind of like that show Alive. I used to watch it. I don't know. Anyway. Put you in the woods by yourself. And whoever comes out first. I mean, whoever comes out last wins. I don't know. It was a long time ago when I used to watch regular TV. I miss watching regular TV. But I want to get to the bottom of this. Because if not, it's just going to continue. And I don't want anybody else to hurt. And whenever, let's say it happens to the next family, you know, then they're going to be like, damn, I should have, you know, listened. Or I'm going to be saying, damn, I wish people would have listened. You know, we have to stop being so damn ignorant too. And things are uncomfortable. Yes, they suck. Nobody wants to sit here and talk about all this. It's 2 years in a, come on, this is a long time. And they deserve it. You know, I'm working on the multiple mortal probation videos series. It's going to be a whole damn series because I want to give it deserves to be exposed because it was the motive or the game plan. It was their, I don't know what to call it, their Hail Mary book. It was, thank you, KJ. God bless your heart. Thank you. But it's true. It was their method. You know, yes, it was money. It was sex. It was greed. It was gross. It was evil. And it just says so much about who they are, not who they were. Everybody does tend to go past tense with this. They're still here. They're still living. These people that didn't get locked up with the Chinyan chiefs, they're still at large. You know, they're still in your community. You know, they're still in your church, your temple. F that is what I'm saying. Can we for once stand up and not? I had read it real quick. I was reading Wheat and Tears. I like going and reading their stories. You know, they publish all the time. And they talked about the Daybells. And they're like, oh my God. You know, some of the commenters were replying back at the Daybell story, Lori and Chad. And they were like, how come media always has to put Mormons in such a bad light? And this one lady who is from Rexburg, I don't know who she is because it's, anonymous. But she said, how about for once we just don't care? you know, about the image, and let's care about the victims. And I cried. I cried because I was like, there it is. That's it. You know? So if she's here, I love you. You know, because I'll find that and I'll share it with y'all, because it really that's it. It's not an attack. It's why isn't anybody, you know, like perturbed by this? Why? I don't know. It should shake you. It did. It does. If it doesn't, then game over. You know, there's no hope.
Yeah, you might be one of them. If it doesn't,
Right.
if
Right.
it doesn't.
You're enabling whomever, you know, all the people that enabled, you know. I even think about things, and I wasn't ever around Lori, but still I'm like, did I contribute to this? You know, you want to know, because I want to correct that if I did, or anybody, you know. That's why you would think, like I say, I've got to bring it back to Eric Smith, y'all. And I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm saying it because I'm learning about him. I don't know. He's the only one out of the group that was really in it. And he did his interview with Hidden True Crime. And he did show and express empathy. He started crying, and because his heart goes out to Chad and Tammy's kids. And I understand that, right? I mean, I get that. I that's okay. Nobody gets to tell him how to grieve either, you know. It's disappointing, because you're like, why do none of them register and see this big picture? But that's because we want to see responses that we would give, right? And so I try not, yeah. Anyways, well, I've been watching his channel, reading his essays and stuff, and he is okay. Lauren asked him on Hidden True Crime. She asked him if Eric Smith believed that Tylee, the way Tylee's remains were found, if that was satanic ritual abuse. And he said, "Oh, that's very uncomfortable." So just from that interview to now, he is now having guests come and tell their stories, satanic ritual abuse victims. I'm like, that is the best apology. That is the best positive from a negative that you want to see, right? You can show me better than you can tell me, because these don't mean anything. But
Right.
It was so uncomfortable for him, but it planted that seed. And I was like, okay, good, yay. And so I'm going to reach out to him, and I'm going to see if he will, you know, talk with me. And I just want to know it'll fast track me there, you know. I'm tired. Upright, McJet, I got you. You know, but I have to I just Mikkel is an angel. I just know her from here. I don't know, just like everybody else. I wasn't reading chat though, so I don't know. I kind of missed on that. Anyways, but out of this group, that's something that is a positive, in my opinion, that stands up for Tylee and every other satanic SRA victim there is. Nobody wants to talk about it because it is, you're just like, oh, I can't believe I'm reading this. I can't believe I'm watching this. I can't believe this is happening in my world. Ew, you know?
They don't want to talk about it because it's exposed.
Exactly. But because it's hard to talk about, but then we're not doing any victims any justice by being quiet, right? We're just kind of doing it by omission. If we don't participate, I used to be like that. I'd be like, if I don't look at it and acknowledge it, then it don't exist. You know? And that's a problem. I feel like there was a lot of that with Lori's upbringing. a lot of sweeping under the rug. Well, eventually, the rug's like this, and there's a big mound underneath it, and there it is. So I don't know. We'll have to find some ways to turn things around. That's to me, that's justice. It's
absolutely.
justice. Even if some of these would just cancel each other out, that'd be great too. So, anyways, I'm working on these multiple moral probations. It's hard to explain something that you don't really understand from that perspective. So
Right.
I'm having to really do some, I'm going to call it, I found a term the other day. It was called spiritual stretching. I was like, perfect. Why not? And then stretched everything else.
Spiritual stretching. That's different.
Yeah. I guess we're reaching, but in your noggin.
That's some dilemma stuff right there.
Well, birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. This sucks. Well, hey, Cassie, I'm glad now we can begin, guys. Cassie's here. I'm always late too. It's okay. We're right on time, I think. Yeah. Karina Fraser says, I'm sorry. No. At the rate of police not charging more people, I am so shocked. So many more have not come forward. Precisely. Like, I'm grateful for the ones who have. I am. But then this is where I can be a little bitter, I guess. I'm like, okay, so you're just embarrassed, but they're freaking dead. Okay, you can't. That's, to me, that's where I do compare apples to apples, and it's just like you just want to save face and keep your temple recommend, and not spiritually have cheated on your husband and wife or wife, because it's spiritual wifery. Nothing's changed. It's the same old thing. They just leopards don't change spots. You just find new ways to manipulate the. I mean, I've done it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything bad, Mom. Sitting there doing something horrible. I mean, come on. It's just like I'm aware of my own bullshit. It is what it is, and that's how I don't know. Anyways, I just think that that's way different. I get it, then I don't. It's been really long now. It's been over 2 years. Come on. Just about 3 months ago, I tried to jump in a live chat. I did jump in a live chat. I screen recorded it. Mike and Nancy James, they were in there talking, chat. And I was like, I'm here. I come in peace. Can I talk to y'all? I've gotten the same thing from Julie. It's just like, are you serious? I want to talk to you. I don't want to hear you talk to anybody else. I want to ask you questions. I'm not mad, but I have questions that maybe from not family's perspective, and trust me, I'm grateful for it. It's a lot of insight. However, it just seems like there would be this respect, like, hey, sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry. And then I'd say, I'm sorry for your loss.
Right.
That's how that goes. It's because it is a loss. Even Lori, she's dead to me. Ever since she flipped, I turned the switch off. She's dead. Somebody I used to know. That song by Gautier, whatever, Gotye. That's somebody that I used to know.
Hey, before I forget, let me throw this at you real quick. I was looking for something else in the documents this morning, and I stumbled on to a document from September the 1st.
Mhm.
Did anybody already know that it had been put on paper exactly what hospital she was in? Have you ever
Uh,
seen?
oh no, there were only like two or three. I think there were three choices, like mental hospital.
Yeah.
The why? You don't know?
Well, because I had never, my chin hit the floor because I no, I fell bass backwards onto it because I was looking for something else. I'll send it to you. Um, she's at State Hospital North is where she's at, and it's
Okay,
clear. I mean,
I
it's at
did
the
a
bottom
video.
of this. It's at the bottom of this document from September the 1st, and it just floored me because, to my knowledge, and I asked several people if they knew about it on Twitter and through messages and whatnot, and none of them had. And I was just like, I told them, you know, we
I
got to
don't.
start doing a better job of reading these documents from top to bottom
I
because,
go back, because I don't file anything, and I've been filing as I go, and I've really been doing good.
oh,
But
this
I
was,
like to read things. I like to see them. A lot of the stories you get online or in the, like Nate Eaton jumping on, you just hear it, But when you read it, it's different. There's more in there, in my opinion. Different things.
I just sent it to you. And you can, I mean, if anybody, I don't think that she'll still be there, but if you want to get right her a
I
letter, she is in North.
I had
She's
I
North
did a
Hospital.
video whenever there was something that happened, like something happened, some kind of emergency happened at one of the psych ward. What do I call it? So what do you call it? I don't want to call it anything bad. Not the hospital where that's carrying the treatment center. There you go. I didn't want to give it a bad stigma or anything, but there was something that happened, and so like all our Vine links went off, and or something. I forget what it was. Somebody can maybe remember. And so I kind of narrowed it down just by deduction. And so I did a video on that little story that East Idaho News had put out, and I was like, could this be where Lori is? And I played Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry. I sure did. Guilty.
Oh,
And I liked it.
oh, okay, Kathy, I didn't know that. Why
What?
is that? Why is that the only document that I've ever seen it on?
What? Because it's not really, you don't want people just, swarming around there. Safety, HIPAA,
No, right, but
see.
I mean, they could have been signing all the documents with that if that's just like the main office or something instead of
I haven't looked at it.
big
You know,
secret where
I'm
she's at.
slow.
I don't know. Okay, disregard. Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Whew. But that's that's your gifts in this. You pick up those patterns, So there's nothing wrong with that. We all have different little, you call
Her
them
little
ticks,
niche.
little ticks or niches. Yeah. Um, my, my, my hind end's starting to get very,
Nah, I don't think just saying what hospital she's in, that's not violating any kind of HIPAA or anything.
no. But yeah, as far as like just letting it all out, I mean, we want them alive, right? So,
And there was a bomb threat called into one of them hospitals. God, I don't remember now which one it was, but as soon as she went to wherever, they had a bomb threat within, I think it was either the same day or the day after that she had got there. And I
oh,
was,
bomb threat. Okay.
yeah,
Now I see. I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know. They killed, Natasha Richardson says they killed adults and children. So I'll acknowledge that as well. But then I saw something else. Oh, I just want to make sure that everybody's okay in chat. Just, y'all, we're here for the victims, you know. Anyways, everybody behave, be nice, turn the other cheek, and thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'm just glad that we have this today. Small victories, you know, just I always mess this up, but just like Larry said, that this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And my ass is out of shape. So
Today was a good day, y'all.
yeah. And tomorrow it's a brand new day. The sun comes up for everybody every day. So let's just hit it tomorrow. Let's wake up and just with a positive attitude and try to do something nice for somebody.
Good vibes and good vibes. And we'll be back. Geez, we'll be back Wednesday, won't we?
Yeah, it's at 9:30 Mountain Time. So I think
11:30 Eastern.
Yeah, it's 10:30 Central. I will come on a little earlier than that. I don't know, maybe 30 minutes early, I guess.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm just gonna stick to whatever time the hearing comes on, and just know that will come on earlier or something. I don't know how else to do it. I get really discombobulated with all the time zones.
it'll depend on. Let's just do this. Say this. If how early we start Wednesday will depend on what happens between tomorrow and that hearing.
Right, and we can spend afterwards.
Yeah.
With the actual facts, you know.
We don't have to necessarily spend an hour before and then 2 or 3 hours after.
And let's bring some stories to light that aren't, you know, of some missing children, missing anybody, any story that you feel that needs to, you know, have some exposure. Just let us know, you know, share with us, and we'll put it up. That's part of this. Just have to figure it out. So much going on. There's so much going on. Thank y'all for being here.
Yep. I'm taking a dog. I'm got a dog laying here staring at me. He's got the saggiest eyes. He's ready to go potty. So I love y'all, and I'll see you Wednesday.
Love y'all too. This is just another way, guys. It just shows that love is what always wins. You know, it's reassurance. It's like I don't know. It just gives me confidence. It gives me a pep in my step. It's like okay, you know, you're on the right path. You're doing okay. So I don't know. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for moderating. I'm sorry if it got a little crazy, but I love y'all, and we'll see y'all Wednesday morning. We'll keep an eye on the court portal, the courtal. Love y'all. Y'all be good, okay? Or be good at it. Thanks for the super chats too. Don't forget. Oh, go subscribe and hit the like button. Share. Let's build this platform. Thank you. Justice for Tylee, JJ. Yes. Tammy, Joe, Charles. I put them all together. Thank y'all. Bye, guys. Bye, neighbors. Okay. I haven't done it in a while. Bye.